Hey y'all, it's Bennett, and it's time for another pickups video. That's right. It's time again to see what I picked up at the thrift stores, yard sales, thrift sales, yard stores, and similar in recent days. I went to my first yard sales of the season. Finally was able to get out this past Saturday, a couple days ago, and was skunked again at the yard sales, but that's all right. Not the best start to the season for yard sales, but it turned out to be a great day for pickups, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I'll just breaking down the yard sale situation. There was a neighborhood yard sale, kind of way out, and I drove way out to it, and got to the first house, asked if they had games. And they were like, no, we don't have any games, but somebody in the neighborhood sale said they were going to have a bunch of games, so, keep looking around. And I went to just every single participating house in the whole neighborhood. I circled the neighborhood a couple of times, hunting for these elusive games, and more than once was told, well, we don't have any games, but, there's another house around here that said they have a bunch of games. So never found them. So I never found anybody that said, oh, you just missed them or anything like that. Just nothing. So kind of bummer there. There was somebody that had a Xbox One or PS4 racing wheel that I considered picking up. And I asked the kid if he had any other games he wanted to sell, and he was like, all my games are digital, so no. And ended up not taking the racing wheel because I already have some that I'm using and trying to figure out what else to do with and stuff like that. So I got more than enough racing wheels to deal with for now. But anyway, never shall we be daunted by such a thing as a strikeout at a yard sale. Nevertheless, went around all Saturday, bunch of sales, didn't find anything. It's just, it happens, one of those days. But I did get out to the thrift stores while I was out, and had some success. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got at thrift stores, and then also at Second and Charles, which is a, for my purposes, a used game store. They do used DVDs, Blu-rays, and books. They have a lot of books and that sort of thing. They're a chain store, they're like a subsidiary. Anyway, they're like a Books A Million Junior or something. But anyway, used stuff. So if you don't know just Second Charles, it's okay. The game section has shrunk considerably, but I was able to find some stuff this time, and I'll show you. All right, so let me take you back to the thrift stores from this past weekend's yard sale / thrifting outing, and also from recent times shortly there before. Let's begin. We have not that. All right, so we got Sonic Free Riders recently. I'm not a big Sonic fan, but I'm at least kind of sort of trying to get all the, Xbox 360 Connect games that are specifically for Connect, requires Connect, and so on. So didn't have this one. It was a couple of bucks at Valley Rescue Mission, one of the thrift stores in town. Got that recently. Sonic Free Riders with Connect. So you can ride the Sonic using the power of your own body movements, and it sound a little bit like Bill Cosby trying to tell you about the power of the Connect and getting the roofies out with the... Never mind, forget I said anything. So we move on to the another thrift store pickup, which just fell on the floor. And now I got it back. We got 15,000 plus codes and cheats for verified, 100% verified codes, all in one book, for only $6.99 originally. I paid $1.49 at Goodwill. This is the winter 2007 edition of Codes and Cheats, I guess. Includes Xbox 360 codes, can you believe it? Also Xbox, PS2, PSP, GBA, GameCube, and DS. So these things, you know, you can find every one of these codes on the internet now, I'm sure. But thumbing through here, it's like, who knew there would be codes for some of these games? So having them all here to, like, you know, fumble through and then see if I have the game and see what happens with the codes. That's kind of cool. I kind of like these sort of things. And so if I'm playing here we go on the Xbox. There's codes for Blade 2, which I have, and I'll be doing a playthrough of that at some point, hopefully. But I'll be able to unlock all weapons, or unlock the Daywalker difficulty, or the level select, or get infinite ammunition, all that stuff, just by virtue of putting in these top secret, but 100% verified codes. What else? We got Dave Mira Freestyle BMX. We got levels and rider outfits and all this stuff you can unlock. That was also the original Xbox. Ooh, we got codes for the Bouncer on PS2. I don't have that one, but I remember it being a thing. Codes for Bond 007, Everything or Nothing. Codes for BMX XXX. Can you believe it? I think they have codes for BMX XXX on all three platforms, but in a minute. Wow, look at all these codes. Surely that'll give you all the excitement you're going to want out of BMX XXX. So this will be fun to kind of just mess around with, see if there's any codes I want to put into action. Starsky and Hutch, unlock everything. You just have to enter Vadkram as the profile name. That's all you got to do. And I would not have known it were not for this book. Speaking of books, this is not video game related, but some of y'all know I've lately been trying to see what I can come across at thrift stores without paying any extra money for them or anything. Not eBaying or anything for, you know, individual books, but trying to see what I can find from the fantastic book called Paperbacks from Hell. And it is a really cool book that goes through some of the like little known and underappreciated and you know, hidden gems, if you will, of paperbacks from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So here's one I found at a thrift store this weekend for $1 or $2. Is The Nest. I've seen the movie of this a few times, and it is nasty, and so surely shall be the book. Which, you know, is in the kind of condition you would expect for a book from the 70s or 80s, paperback from the 70s or 80s, about a giant nest of cockroaches that ruins a Cape Cod town. So anyway, I'm on the lookout for these things, and I found several so far, and it's really a fun thing to keep looking out for. So anyway, this one's The Nest. Paperbacks from Hell. Okay, moving on. Some of y'all don't read, you just want video games, and I totally understand. So, we'll move on to the pickup specifically from this weekend after my yard sale endeavors didn't pan out. Went to another thrift store and found Pac-Man Fever for the PS2. I didn't have this one, so it was complete and good condition, so I figured I'd pick it up. It was whatever the regular price is, $2, I think. I think when it's all said and done, I got all these for $4 each. I mean, $4 total, sorry. So, yeah, Pac-Man Fever, it's driving me crazy, on the PlayStation 2. And then we got Dance Central 3 for the Xbox 360 Connect. And this one is factory sealed. Start ringing up them dollar signs now. Put this in the WATA case, and the bidding starts at $10,000. But yeah, Dance Central 3, probably not going to get it graded. I think, it goes, I got it for like $1, and I think it's listed at probably like $8 brand new, and graded I can only imagine be like $30. And I'm not going to grade stuff anyway, because that's annoying and I don't want to do it. But then we got Billy the Wizard, a notoriously bad game on the Nintendo Wii. This was definitely a favorite of the worst games ever. YouTube series from Triple Jump.
It's just really not responsive, which kind of matters when you're doing...
Let's make a video game about broomsticks.
A flying broomstick.
But let's make it like you're controlling a horse with arthritis.
Yeah, that's upside down on a broomstick.
And so, yeah, this is Billy the Wizard. Not at all to be confused with Harry Potter or his whole thing. Just, this is Billy, and he's a wizard. And you grab your wizard's hat and hop on a broom and join Barry Hatter and his friends in an adventure beyond belief. Which pretty much just means racing around this Hogwarts-looking castle over and over again with these really crappy graphics. So that's fun, and it was color of the week, so half off there. So half off to whatever the already low price was. And finally we got Barbie and her sister's Puppy Rescue for the Xbox 360. It was complete. It was half off because of color of the week. And it's now in my collection. Yes, the excitement never stops when you got Billy the Wizard and Barbie in one pickup. So we move on to another thrift store in town. This is another Valley Rescue, just like the one I was just talking about. Where I got those 4 games. This one's on the other side of town, and I picked up from their glass case of games. I don't know why these particular games are in the glass case, because they weren't any more expensive than any others, and they're not particularly good or anything, but hey, whatever. And they were in good condition, and they were complete, and they were color of the week green there. So we got Flow Urban Dance Uprising. So dance to a new beat, put your body in motion in the first and only hip-hop dance game, at least as of whenever this came out, for the PlayStation 2. And it is enhanced for use with the PlayStation 2 iToy camera. I do have one of those. I think I have one of those, but it's complete. Get up and dance to 50 inspiring beats by hip-hop artists past and present. Now, are these just beats, or are they like real songs? I don't know. I don't know anything about this, but it was cheap. And there you go. Yeah, so it's kind of a breakdancing, b-boying kind of game there. So that's kind of cool. Show everyone how it's done in versus, break style, and 8-player competition modes. So you know we're ready to compete. People are going to get served up in here. And next we got, from the same location, and also, half off, Pinball Hall of Fame, the Gottlieb Collection for the original Xbox. And that's complete. We have such famous pinball games included as Ace High. I thought it was Aces High. Whatever. Ace High, Big Shot, Black Hole, Teed Off, and some others. So that's pretty cool. Video pinball is okay. Regular pinball is okay. It's frustrating to me, so I think I like video pinball better because I can actually play it and get better at it instead of just be annoyed that the ball just immediately shoots down the middle hole and I can't do anything about it. So anyway, whatever. Pinball Hall of Fame Gottlieb collection for the original Xbox. 7 classic tables. There we go. Alright, and that was all the success I had at those thrift stores. I moved on next and finally to Sega and Charles, which I mentioned a bit ago, has, in my, for my purposes, has used games. I mean, they're for everybody else too, but like, what I care about there are used games, and they used to have many rows of used games of all sorts of game systems and everything, and now they're really shrunk down to basically just one row. I mean, like, it's terrible, but every now and again they get something cool in, and if you catch them at the right time, you'll find something fun. Now they also do like eBay prices pretty much, so most of the time you don't get a good price deal, but every now and again, you can catch them slipping or just get lucky. So, let's see what I got. Well, there we go. I had been, for whatever reason, thinking about Sega Genesis games lately, and looking at my collection and seeing what I can, like what loose games I can find cases for, and so forth and so on, and noticing some gaps in my collection, and so I was hoping to find something, in their little Sega area, and managed to come away with a few things, and one of which is, perhaps most importantly to me, John Madden Football, the very first one. Well, the first one for the Genesis. I guess there were computer ones before. It's right in there. It does not have the manual, but it has some other little paperwork in there, and it's the cardboard box variant, which is not what I expected to find, and it's not in perfect condition, but with a little, with a case protector, it'll look good, and keep it, we'll keep it safe. But yeah, so I was able to get it for $4.50 American cents, and now I'll be able to play the original John Madden Football, which I used to play all the time on my friend Paul's Genesis back in the day, and this is probably the main reason I went out looking for Sega stuff in the first place, is thinking back to good old original Madden. We used to have very competitive games of Madden with my friends there, until I discovered a few secrets, a few hidden tips and tricks that you're not going to find in the code book, not for 2007 or whatever it was, but maybe the old 1991 code book. Anyway, it got to be where I would dominate original Madden using the Miami Dolphins, because for whatever reason their defensive backs played like they were 9 feet tall, and so you could swat down and intercept passes that seemed way over their heads. So that helped. And I also discovered a technique for kicking an onside kick, not in an onside formation, if I remember correctly, where basically you just get in a regular formation, and you just, spoiler alert on the next one, and you just jam that little kickoff button as fast as you can. Gotta be faster than this. I don't know if I still have the speed for it. Gotta limber up. But anyway, it would function like an onside kick. He would kick it. It was almost like the guy would touch it with his toe and grab it. Like immediately it would just go defense recovers or whatever, and or kickoff team recovers, whatever. And so you could just keep the ball forever by having the cheap and totally not real, not legit onside kick, which was a great strategy for me. So I'm gonna see if I can get back in there and achieve some of that same greatness that I had when I figured those things out back in the early 90s and became the king of Madden. Maybe I'll be on top again of Madden original for the Genesis. Anyway, speaking of sports on the Genesis, another one I picked up was Coach K College Basketball. This is also an EA Sports jam, back when EA Sports wasn't just a bunch of greedy so-and-sos who nickel and dime you for everything. They would actually include lots of cool stuff on the games, like all-time teams and historic teams and stuff like that. So anyway, Coach K College Basketball for the Sega Genesis. The main reason I wanted to pick this up is because Scott the Woz always has this in the background of his setup. Along with Madden 08. So I saw it, I was like, ooh, Scott the Woz this game. And I picked it up. Because it was not even $2. $1.95. And finally, I grabbed Might and Magic, another Electronic Arts production, I do believe. Somebody just turned in all their EA games, I guess, because they had a ton more like sports games lined up. And this is the ultimate challenge in fantasy adventure. And what is awesome here, and the main reason I wanted to pick it up, is because it was complete with this enormous guidebook, which I did not expect to see. You know, this is what we used to get back in the day, people. No digital manual here. This is a big fat tome of how you can play Might and Magic Gates to Another World on the Sega Genesis. And what was extra cool about it was I picked it up, so I was in good shape, and went to the guy to be like, okay, give me the cart for this, and how much is it? Because it didn't have a price sticker on it anywhere. And he's like, let me get it fun. And when he brought the cart back, he was like, for some reason we were this had been marked to sell as the loose cart price, so $12. And I was like, sold, because this is at least like a $30 or $40 game complete, and might not have been worth it even for that, because I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole 100 hours of adventuring that you get here, that would make the price worth it, but it sure was worth it to pick it up for $12. So looks like a little bit of warping here. It's possible moisture. I'll have to be very careful with that, but otherwise, Might and Magic for the Genesis. Pretty cool. So I went home after my successes at Second and Trials, and I thought about what other games did I see that they had that I didn't really know anything about, and I was looking at the kind of values of the games I did pick up, and I saw that for somehow or another, the cardboard box version of John Madden Football was actually like in the $40 to $50 range for in terms of price charting and all that, and I got it for $4.50. So that was pretty cool. It's got a cardboard box instead of the cool clamshell, and the clamshells keep things nice and safe and in good shape for a lot longer than the cardboard boxes do, which is, I guess, why you'll see, a lot more Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games that have the boxes completely shredded than Genesis games. But the cardboard box Genesis games are gonna start falling apart in the same way that NES games boxes do and stuff like that. Yada yada. Anyway, so I thought back to Sega and Charles, and it's like, didn't they have some more cardboard box games there? So I went back the next day to look at what other games they had and see if maybe I could find some things that were undervalued or at any rate possibly interesting to just pick up for the collection. And so I did. They had a few cardboard box games. I almost got Super Battleship, but ended up putting it back. They wanted like $15 for it or something like that, and I'm maybe 18, and I just didn't want to fool with it when I could get these other ones for like $4 a piece or something like that. So first we have Hardball. You can see that says Hardball right there. The best-selling baseball game of all time, which comes to the Sega Genesis. And here it is, and everything is in good shape, except the little white little cartridge holder. I can adjust that, and yeah. So that was $5.10, which, I don't know whether that's officially a good price for Hardball, but it's certainly a price I was willing to pay for something in a cardboard box Genesis game in this good condition. Similarly, we got Winter Challenge, also a cardboard box. Also, this one's like super complete with manual and poster and all sorts of stuff along with the game. Let's see, the game's under here somewhere. Here it is. And the aforementioned cardboard box is in great shape. And it is $3.90. So it's glad to pick that up. And finally, cardboard box wise, we got Mike Ditka Power Football. Ditka the Bears, and all that stuff. My nickname growing up was the Bear, based on the old Saturday Night Live skit there. So Mike Ditka has a special place in my heart just from that. So yeah, Mike Ditka Power Football. This one's $3.80. It's complete and it's in good shape and good cardboard and all that stuff. So that's cool. Kind of low end sports games are not really something I want to invest a lot of money and time in on the Genesis, but these being in the cardboard and in good shape, I thought it was worth the $3.80 here. 8 megs of power. That's how I beat up the competition. The Bears. 8 megs of power. 8 mega power. Yep. Cool. The power of a real NFL referee. 31-year veteran Jim Tunney makes all the calls. So if you disagree with the ref's calls in Mike Ditka Power Football, you are a fool. A darn fool. Alright, so did I find anything else at Sega and Charles Sega department? Well, I did. And it was mostly sports games. Yes, all sports games. Just because I got a hankering to try them out. So we had NFL Football 94. It was $275. So it's complete. And even has the hang tag. I don't know. It's complete. It's great. It's in great shape, and it was less than $3, so it was worth it. What's kind of weird about this one is, like, look at the back. it has all these like NFL stars, and you know, you can play as all these guys, NFL stars, but like how many of these guys are dead? That was one of the reasons I picked it up. It was kind of creepy. All right, all the NFL stars at NFLPA are here. Aikman, Cunningham, Young, Elway, Irvin, Sayal, Pat Swilling, I think he's dead. Derek Thomas, oh no. Reggie White, oh no. Yeah, this is kind of a cursed back of the box. But this, you know, that's neither here nor there. This is Joe Montana in his Chiefs days. There you go. And it's football. I love me some football. Yeah, that's NFL 94. And similarly, we have NFL Sports Talk Football 93, starring Joe Montana in his 49ers days, which is, you know, boo the 49ers from the 80s and 90s. I hated those guys. But, you know, looking back in retrospect, Joe Montana is fun to root for just in general because he's, I don't know, just kind of a cool guy, I guess. Joe Cool, whatever. Anyway, hated that team, hated him when he was playing for that team. Kind of liked him when he was at the Chiefs. What are you going to do? Anyway, I wanted to get this one because it was Sports Talk Football. I think this was the first Sports Talk game, which I always wanted to play. And this one is complete. And, you know, so it has the announcers, like, you know, 16-bit announcers in the early 90s talking about Aikman steps back and is killed by the Rush, or, you know, whatever. But it's cool to see the very primitive beginnings of full-on voiced announcing in games. Well before you had the repetitive announcing of today's Madden and stuff like that. You had the probably repetitive announcing of Sports Talk Football 93 in this case. Moving on, we had David Robinson's Supreme Court. Everybody loved David Robinson, the Admiral. Not sure why it was Supreme Court. I guess it was Supreme Court, and anybody could have been the mascot or the spokesperson for it, whatever, the endorser, because you know, David Robinson was the Admiral. He didn't have anything to do with politics or law or anything like that, but whatever. David Robinson's Supreme Court. This is, I guess, just Sega Sports. I have the loose cart for this, but since it was a complete copy in good shape for $2.55, I went ahead and just got it, and I'll just, you know, keep whichever cart is the best and put the other one in a bundle sometime and get rid of it that way. And anyway, so now I have a complete copy of David Robinson's Supreme Court. You could get a NFL Films sports videotape with purchase. Basketball, baseball, racing, football, and Joe Montana poster. Only some amount of money plus shipping. Offer good while supplies last. We'll have to see if there are any supplies left. And finally, for this trip, we had Pat Riley basketball. You know, NBA basketball. Did they have an NBA license? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But, you know, it was in that original Genesis grid pattern box, which I always like these. And even has the hang tag and all that. So, and it was $1.95, so couldn't resist picking up Pat Riley basketball. I used to like Pat Riley as coach, and used to emulate his hairstyle to the best of my ability. Even though I still, you know, he's slicking it over to the side, not straight back, but, you know, whatever. There's still a little Pat Riley left in my hair, I guess, so whatever. But it really looks more like an evolution on double dribble, you know, with that like close-ups on the slam cam and all that stuff. So we'll see. $2, how could you go wrong? All right, so that's it for that little trip. And of course, when I got home for that one, I was thinking about what else they had on the shelf at Second and Charles, and I noticed something in one of the Lucite cases there where they keep the more, you know, valuable games, not like the glass case on the where you have to go ask somebody or whatever, but like just in one of the little protective boxes. I noticed an Atari 7800 game in there that I was like, really? Why is that in there? But I did a quick look up at the house and was like, ooh, maybe I should go back and see if it's still there and like what they want for it. And that game is Basket Brawl. Let's do it this way. Basket Brawl on the Atari 7800. On the Atari 7800, which is a console I do not have. Maybe I'll get one someday. But yeah, Atari 7800 Basket Brawl. And what is interesting about that is that for some reason it is rare, and currently price charting has it around $80 for a loose cart, and according to their like listings, it's like the fifth most valuable loose cart in the 7800 lineup of only like 90 games, but you know, still. So I went on back, and sure enough, they had it, and here it is. Went in and bought it, and not only did they have it for much better, like maybe they were going to have it, maybe they were going to have $80 price tag on it. I didn't know, but when I came back there, not only did they have it marked at $34.95, they had it marked down on clearance for $17.50. Well, that's what I got it for. $19 once you did tax. So that was fun, picking up an $80 game for $19. I don't have a 7800, and I don't know anybody that does. I'll get one sometime if it ever comes across the Goodwill or whatever, but I'm in no real hurry, I don't guess. But my 7800 collection is starting out with a bang. So there we go. All right. Well, that was a pretty long video for a unsuccessful yard sale weekend. But hey, picked up a lot of cool stuff at the thrift stores and the used game stores and didn't spend a lot of money on it. That's what we like to do. So thanks for coming with me on this journey, and we'll see you again on the next time we have some pickups, and I appreciate you coming along. Bye.